Alright, Pete here from A Bit Twisted. So this morning I'm on my vintage Jensen 30-inch wheel and doing some Romney and doing it very thin just to see how well this works now that everything's tightened up. This mother of all, and the base used to be really loose, and I'm not sure how it resolved itself, but it is now resolved. Used to be a large gap in there. So one of the things that comes up in spinning when people are first learning is getting overspun thread. So I'm going to do that here real quick. Just going to spin it and spin it. Hope I don't break it because I'm really super thin. Right now it's just really overspun. So mine's not going to stop my wheel because it's so thin. But if you have thick enough, it can stop the wheel. So being thin, what you want to do is you want to draft some out without treadling. Just draft some out, and that excess twist will work up into the little bit that you just treadled. I'll move it on a little bit. Draft a little bit more. So the twist isn't so great, but it's still enough. And once you get to that point, then you can start again. But you'll need to slow your treadling down to match your drafting. And that takes time, whether you're doing super thin or thick. And you want your tension set to just take up without yanking too much, like it's going to feel like it's going to yank it out of your hand. You can see by the, no, I don't think you can see that well, but the drive band is really floppy on this wheel, but it still has a bit of pull to it. And I don't like that. I need less pull. Just enough. So right now if I slip up, it can break this little bit of thread, this thin thread that I'm making. And try not to let that get up into your yarn here. Keep that triangle in your control. And you can see my fingers are kind of back twisting. By back twisting, it opens the fibers and let those fibers slide out so you can have better control of draft and the quantity in which you draft. And if you have a yarn gauge, you should have that, put it on your lap, and use it to keep track of the thickness of your single that you're doing. and check it off then. If it's too thin, you draft out thicker. If it's too thick, you draft out thinner. And keep it within that range, because it's easy to start getting too thick or too thin. I'm going to stop here for a second. Stop my wheel at the top, and I'll wrap it around and let it sit. Lift this up a bit so you can see the bands a little bit better. I can't move it anymore. But you can see how loose these are. And that's what I need for spinning really thin. I can also pull back on it whilst I'm spinning. So you can see that bobbin almost stop. And take up. Thin thread, I need enough twist to keep it together. So it tends to pigtail a little bit more than thicker yarn would. But once it's plied, it works. It turns out really nice. Nice and thin. It's very lacy weight. Some people call it gossamer. I can do a semi-long draw with this. Just control my twist as I draw back on this. Keep my thickness fairly the same, and I do it visually right now. I do have a notch in my yarn gauge that's really super narrow for this kind of stuff, but I have it over on my flax wheel at the moment. It takes a long time to spin a bit when you're spinning super thin. But I get lots and lots of yards. Hundreds and hundreds of yards. Stop. Test. And there's my yarn. So super fine can be done on a big wheel. tension right. You can do it on any wheel. Irish tensions wheels are a little more difficult unless you have a really lightweight flyer. Then they're easy to set that super light tension that you need for spinning thin, if you choose to do so. Spinning thin is mostly used for lace projects or weaving. Could knit it if you want to take the time to knit all that, but you can. For some really fine stuff. So there's just enough twist up in the triangle. Hold it, and then I'll just kind of control that draft. I control the draft pretty far back, and that's because back twisting opens the fibers. Open, tighten, open, tighten, open, tighten, open, tighten. Get that technique going. You can spin quite a bit pretty quick. And stay pretty consistent without a gauge. Get used to seeing it and feeling it. You can feel if it's thicker. So it's time to go make some coffee. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Pete here from Bit Twisted. See a groove. See a groove cutting?